right. Good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining me for practice this morning. So, if you missed my little spiel on Instagram just before this, I mentioned that we would be using props for this practice. So, if you do have yoga blocks at home, feel free to grab those. If you've got a blanket that you want to use for Shavasana or even an eye pillow, go ahead and grab that. I have a diffuser set up with a grounding blend. You can set yourself up with whatever you need, and we will coming to lie all the way down on the back with your feet wider than your hips and letting the knees knock in to touch. We're going to bring our hands to rest on the belly. And then close down your eyes. And right away, start to turn your awareness towards your breath. So shifting the focus from everything that you may have had going on this morning, the time you took. Now keeping the breath really steady and smooth, I want you to start to draw your awareness to your emotional state. With all of the craziness that's going on in the world right now, there's probably a lot of emotion that has been kind of circulating in your body that may be rising to the surface. Without judging, just starting to notice what those emotions are for you. So for me, this shows up in my body as anxiety. There's fear and grief. There's a lot going on, a lot of heavy, heavy emotions. So take the next few breaths to identify those emotions in yourself, in your own body, in your own experience. Again, without judging, just noticing what's going on. Now, once you've pinpointed all of those emotions, I want you to turn your awareness to your physical body, to your physical experience. And take a little journey through your body, trying to identify where those emotions. So for me, those emotions get stuck in my jaw. I've got a lot of tension around my neck, my jaw, shoulders. And taking the next few breaths to identify where your emotions are manifesting and getting stuck in your own body. Now, once you've identified those areas of your body that may be feeling a little bit stuck, where emotions or energy are a little stagnant, I want you to actively send all of your breath and all of your awareness into those places of your body. So the breath should become a little bit more active now, filling up those tight spaces with nourishing breath, creating more space in your body, more expansion. And at the same time, using your exhalations to let go of that tension, to let go of that stuck energy. Now, before we start to move, we'll take a moment to take a few cleansing breaths together. So start by finishing those, feel your belly rise, your ribs expand. Once you reach the top of your lung capacity, hold the breath in at the very top. And then let that breath go through an open mouth. Let's do that again. Big breath in. Fill your lungs with air. Hold it in at the very top. And then big exhale through an open mouth. Let it go. One more time, just like that. Huge breath in. Fill up with air. Hold it in. And then let it go. Good. Now extending the legs long on your mat. Reach your arms all the way up over your head. Point your toes, reach through your fingertips, make your body as long as you can. Take a very big breath in. And then just relax on your mat as you exhale. Let go of all of that tension. We'll do that one more time. Get as long as you can. Big breath in, point your toes. With your exhale, draw your knees in towards your chest. Give yourself a squeeze. Maybe adding in a bit of a rock from side to side. Finding the middle of your mat, we'll keep the right knee hugging in. Extend the left leg long onto your mat. Flexing your left toes back towards your shin. Take a big breath in. Feel your belly expand into your right thigh. As you exhale, draw that right knee in towards your chest a little closer. Moving with the breath a few times, inhaling to release slightly. Exhaling to draw the knee in a little closer. 2 more big breaths, just like that. Maybe adding in a little bit of movement into your hip joint. And from here, you're going to let that right knee fall open to the right side of your ribs. And then lift your foot all the way up towards the sky for half happy baby. So if half happy baby doesn't work for you and you can't quite reach your foot, you're more than welcome to hang on to the back of your thigh instead, letting the knee fall open to the side. You're pulling your right knee up towards your armpit. If you've got hold of the foot, you're gently pressing your foot down towards the earth. So knee is drawing down towards the outside of your ribs. And that left hand can come to rest on top of your left hip. There's a little reminder there to roll that hip back down towards the floor. Taking any tension and effort out from your upper body. Keeping the neck nice and long. And now releasing hold of your right foot. You're going to rebend the knee in towards your chest. Use your left hand on your right knee to guide the knee across your body towards the left side of your space, coming into a spinal twist. So you may cactus shape that right arm. Maybe you want to extend it long. You're tipping the chin over towards your right shoulder, so long as that's okay for your neck. And then taking a few really deep breaths down the right side of your body. Take one more big breath in through the nose. Stay here for your exhale. Then make your way back to center. Draw both of your knees in towards your chest again. Big squeeze in the center. And keeping the left knee hugging in, extend your right leg long. So we're just switching sides, flexing those right toes back towards the shin. Take a big breath in. Feel your belly puff up into your left thigh. As you exhale, draw the knee in a little closer towards your chest. Breathing in to release slightly. Breathing out to squeeze in. Now take 2 more big breaths just like that, maybe adding a bit of movement into your left hip. And then letting the knee splay out to the side, either moving the hand to the back of the thigh and staying here, or coming into your half happy baby, catching hold of your foot. Okay. Gently pressing the knee down towards the earth outside of your rib cage. That right hand can rest on top of your right hip. If you've got hold of the foot, release it now, pulling the knee back in towards the chest. Using your right hand against your left knee to draw the knee across the body towards the right side of your space, making your way into your spinal twist on the other side. So extending that left arm long, maybe taking the gaze over towards your left shoulder. Feeling the breath travel down the left side waist. Taking your last full inhale here. Staying to deepen the twist as you exhale. Coming all the way back up through center, knees into the chest one last time. And then we'll loop the hands around to the back of the thighs. Start to rock and roll up and down the length of your spine a few times. Face you guys. It doesn't really matter which way you're facing. Come into Sukhasana or easy pose. Sitting cross-legged, you're more than welcome to prop yourself up on a block if you've got one handy. But I'll invite you to bring the left shin in front of the right shin to start off. Okay. Sitting up nice and tall, you're rooting down through your sits bones, growing a little taller through the top of your head. Now take a big breath in, sweep both of your arms to the sky, lengthen up, spine a little more. With your breath out, finding a bit of a deeper twist, drawing your belly button in, right shoulder back in space. Do that again, big breath in to grow a little taller. And then exhale, deepen your twist. One more breath, inhale. And stay to deepen your twist as you exhale. Now we're staying in the twist. Your left hand is going to stay cupping your right knee. Reach your right arm all the way up over your head. And then as you exhale, you're tipping the left shoulder over towards your left knee, reaching that right arm up over your head. Now you're using your left hand against your right knee as leverage here to revolve your chest open towards. Now on your next breath in, cactus shape that right arm and lift the center of your chest up towards the sky. Look up. Exhaling to extend the right arm forward, round through that right shoulder. Breathing in to lift yourself back up, cactus shape the arm. Exhale to round and reach. One more time, inhale, open it up. Exhale to round it forward. You're gonna land your right hand on your left knee, level out your chest so your shoulders are stacking over your hips. Really round your upper back so you're separating your shoulder blades, and drop your chin down towards your chest for 3 deep breaths. Creating a little bit of space between the shoulder blades, the back of the heart. And slowly unravel and come back through center. Switch out the legs so that your right shin is in front of the left. Okay. Rooting down through your sitting bones again, growing a little taller through the top of your head. Take a big breath in, reach both of your hands up to the sky. As you exhale, we're twisting over to the left. So right hand lands on the left knee, your left hand in space. Breathing in to extend. Breathing out to twist. One more big breath in. Full breath out. Now you're staying in your twist. The left hand reaches up over the head. Then lean your right shoulder towards your right knee as you exhale. Reaching the left arm all the way up over your head. Take a breath in. Cactus shape your left arm. Lift the center of your chest. Look up. And as you exhale, round that left shoulder forward, reach, reach, reach through that left arm. Breathe in to open it up. As you exhale, round it forward. One more time, open it up, inhale. Reach forward, exhale, land your left hand on your right knee. Level out your shoulders so they're stacking over your hips. Separate your shoulder blades, round your upper back as much as you can. So you're leaning back, and then drop your chin down towards your chest. 3 slow breaths. Slowly unravel. And we're going to make our way into child's pose from here. So your choice, if you want the knees together, the knees nice and wide. I prefer to have the knees wide with the toes touching together. We're sinking the hips all the way back towards the heels. And whichever leg variation you have, we're going to extend the arms up overhead. I invite you to use a pillow or a block underneath your face for a bit more support in this shape. Now, staying here in your child's pose, I'm just going to prompt your emotions we're manifesting. So whether that's tension in your neck, your jaw, maybe you're feeling it more in your hips, in the pit of your belly, wherever that space is for you, I want you to draw your awareness back to those areas and start to actively send nourishing energy and healing breath into those spaces. Now, keeping your awareness on those places of your body that still feel tight or tender, we're going to slowly draw ourselves up into a tabletop position. Drawing the knee, you're lifting through the front of your chest. On your exhale, you're rounding in. Close down your eyes and let this movement. So think of this as a moving meditation. We're trying to move that step. So you can start to circle out your rib cage as you move. You can sway the hips from side to side. Starting to close down your eyes for at least 5 more full rounds. Moment to notice the shift. Up onto your knees, so standing on your knees, reaching your hands to the sky. As you exhale, draw your hands to your low back, start to press your hips forward, lift up forward, coming into Anjaneyasana low lunge. On your breath in, think about lifting your ribs up towards the sky, maybe leaning. Unsupported half splits, exhale. Now come forward into your lunge as you breathe in, reaching hands to the sky, hips are low. We're going to twist over to the right. Your arms are parallel to the floor. Draw your low belly in, extend and you're landing your left hand to the inside of your right foot on the floor. Tuck the toes under the back of your mat, fire up that back leg, and sweep your right hand to the sky for easy twist. Good. So this is your inhale and your easy twist. Reach your right hand up. With your exhale, we're pivoting around into skater. So bending into the left knee, sweeping the arms towards the left. Come back to your easy twist as you breathe in. Right hand reaches to the sky. Find skater with your exhale into the left leg. Sweep it around. One more time. Easy twist all the way to the top of your mat. Pivot around. Find your skater. Pause here. Your left thigh should be parallel to the floor. Send your sitting bones back. Land your right hand on the floor in front of your face, and then sweep your left hand all the way up towards the sky. Take one more big breath in. Land the left hand on the floor. We're pivoting around to the top of the space again. Landing both of your hands on the inside. Last full inhale. Bend your knees a lot and find ragdoll at the top of your mat. So your belly should be connected to your thighs. You're grabbing. And if you've got hold of opposite elbows, release your fingertips to the floor. Roll yourself up to stand. So you start to lengthen out your legs. You're rolling all the way up, one vertebra at a time. It's a super slow roll up. And then when you're standing tall, drag your hands across the front of your body. Take a big breath in, reach all your elbows. Your shoulders are going to start to round forward. Releasing the top of your head all the way back down towards the floor. Standing, hands drag across the front of the body. Reaching all the way to the sky. Take a big breath in at the top. And then we're going back down the way we came. So wrists, elbows, rounding the shoulders forward. Top of the head, all the way back down. Bending into your knees one more time. Slow roll all the way back up. Hands across the front of the body. Take a big breath in. Reach and stand tall. Go all the way back down. Wrists, elbows, round the shoulders forward. And when you get there in your fold, land your hands on the floor. Take a big step back into a high plank, top of a push-up. We're not here for long. Okay, set up your plank pose so that your shoulders are stacking over your wrists, your arms are straight and strong. And I want you to keep this position, but just drop your knees down towards the floor. So you should have a fairly straight line from your knees through the top of your head. Now on your inhale, think about broadening across your chest, your collarbones, dragging your sternum forward. And with your exhale, slowly bend into your elbows, bringing the chest all the way down to your mat. Good. Now lift your left toes, reach them all the way back, lengthen out through that left leg, and then release the top of your foot. Do the same thing on the other side. Right foot lifts, point your toes, reach them all the way back as far as you can, and then drop the top of your foot down. Hands under the shoulders, baby cobra as you inhale, float the chest up nice and light in the hands. And then release to the floor with your breath out. Let's do that 2 more times. Baby cobra, inhale. And release. 1 more time. Lift as you breathe in. And release. Press up through table on your breath in. Sink back into child's pose as you exhale. Pause for 3 slow breaths. Come back to your body. Come back to those places where you were holding on to emotion and try to notice the shifts that are happening. Start to walk your hands back towards your knees, lifting the chest, having a seat on your heels, knees to hip distance. Take a breath in, stand on your knees, reach to the sky. Exhale, hands to your low back, press your hips forward, lift through the center of your chest. Level out, inhale, reach hands to the sky. Step your left foot forward to the top of your mat as you breathe out. Good. Inhaling to lean back, lift through the center of your chest, reach up. It's an unsupported half splits from here, folding over that left leg, sweeping the arms back. Breathe in to come back into your low lunge, hands to the sky. Exhale into your unsupported half splits. 1 more time, reach up, inhale. And sweep it back, exhale. Coming into your lunge, reaching hands to the sky, let your hips get really heavy. Now we're twisting over to the left, arms parallel to the floor. Okay, draw your low belly in. You're reaching through those fingertips as long as you can. Left hand connects to your low back. Sweep your right arm all the way up over your head. So we're leaning back, dropping the left shoulder away from the ear. And from here, right hand lands to the floor on the inside of your left foot. Curl the toes under at the back of your mat, fire up the leg, and sweep that left hand to the sky for an easy twist. This is your inhale, reach up. Your exhale, we're pivoting around into skater, into that right leg. Open up the arms wide. Come back to your easy twist, inhale. Skater with your exhale. One more time, easy twist. Find skater with your breath out. Pause here. Land your left hand on the floor in front of your face and sweep your right hand to the sky. I'm just going to turn around so that you guys can see that properly. Right hand is reaching to the sky. Your right thigh should be parallel to the floor. Good. Release the right hand down. Pivot around again to the top of your mat. Both of your hands are on the inside of that left foot. Get a little lighter through those right toes. Now bounce forward, Malasana, dropping the hips down, hands to heart. You're using your elbows on the insides of your knees to open up those hips, grow taller through the top of your head. Staying here for 5 deep breaths. Take your last big breath in. Hands to the floor, lengthen out those legs towards straight. Heel toe your feet to hip distance. Again, bend your knees a lot and find ragdoll. Grabbing hold of opposite elbows, maybe taking a sway from side to side. Releasing fingertips towards the floor. Bend your knees more. Slowly roll yourself up to stand. Hands drag across the front of the body. Take a big breath in, reach to the sky. Go back down the same way you came. Wrists, elbows bend, round the shoulders forward. Crown of the head towards the floor. Bend your knees. Roll yourself up to stand. Hands across the front of the body. Reaching all the way up. Big inhale at the top. And then going back down the same way we came. Roll it all the way down. Bending the knees. One more time. Roll yourself up. Hands across the front of the body. Take a big breath in. Reach through your fingers. And then all the way back down. Landing hands on the floor. Step back into your high plank, top of a push-up. Now you have the option of staying here in a high plank or dropping the knees down onto the floor. So whichever one you're choosing, arms are straight and strong. You're separating your shoulder blades. Okay, belly squeezing in. Broaden across your collarbones. Tip forward onto your toes. It's like you're pulling your sternum towards the top of your mat. And then bending the elbows, slowly release the chest all the way down to the floor. Okay, same thing we did before. So left foot's gonna lift. You're gonna point your toes, reach, 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 and then release the top of your foot. Same thing with the other side. Right foot lifts, point your toes, reach them back, and then release the top of your foot. Bring your hands a little further back so they're tucking into your ribs. Okay, elbows lift. And then inhale into your cobra, lifting the chest upright. And exhale, drag the chest forward and down to release. Let's do that 2 more times. Inhale into your cobra. Exhale to release. Last one. Inhale, cobra. Exhale to release. Press up into table on your breath in. Sink back into child's pose. Exhale, pausing there. Right away, come back to your breath and come back to your body. Okay, staying in your child's pose. I'm just going to lift myself up so you can hear me. Come back to those areas of your body that we were focusing on. So wherever your emotions are manifesting, notice the shifts. You try to notice the extra space that you're creating, that expansion you're creating in those spaces. Try to notice if your emotional state has shifted throughout practice. Maybe those emotions that you identified earlier, those really heavy emotions, are starting to shift. Maybe you're starting to feel more light. For me, those heavy emotions, that grief and fear and anxiety, as soon as I get my body moving and I start to tap into those feelings, it usually turns into gratitude. There's a lightness there that happens. So I just want you to notice what's going on inside of your body. From your child's pose, start to walk your hands back towards your knees, lifting the chest upright, knees come to hip distance. We're going to flow through that sequence one more time, but moving a little bit faster, maybe adding on a few little things here and there. Okay, so on your next breath in, you're lifting up onto your knees, reaching your hands to the sky. As you exhale, hands land to your low back, press your hips forward, lift the center of your chest to the sky. You exhale. Breathing in to lift to the center of your chest, lean back. One time unsupported half split, fold over your right leg. Come forward into your lunge, inhale. Now twist to the right, arms parallel to the floor. Land your right hand to your low back, sweep that left hand up, breathe in. And then find your easy twist, left hand to the floor, right hand reaches to the sky. You're lifting and powering up through that back leg. Take a big breath in, reach a little higher. And then it's skater into the left leg, sweep it around. Land your right hand on the floor in front of your face. Breathing in, left hand sweeps to the sky. Pausing here, open up through the chest a little further. Now release your left hand to the floor. Pivot around to the top of your mat. This time it's standing splits. You're going to sweep that left leg up towards the sky. We're not here for long. It doesn't matter what this looks like. I want that back leg to be straight and strong. You're spreading your left toes really wide. Good. Big breath in. Feet together, top of the mat. Fold in half. Now as you inhale, rise up. You're drawing your right knee in towards your chest. As you exhale, twist again to the right and land your left hand on your right knee. You're reaching through that back hand. Good. If you're looking for a little more in this posture, you may like to grab hold of the outside edge of your right foot. Trying to do this on carpet, you guys, is really hard, apparently. You may like to extend that right leg forward. Good. Find center, inhale, hands reach to the sky. And then fold over your legs, feet together. Sliding your hands to your shins, find a halfway lift. As you fold, plant your palms, step back into a high plank, top of a push-up. Lengthening out the legs, tops of the feet down on the mat. Take a breath in, find your cobra. Rolling the chest all the way back down as you exhale. Press into table on your breath in. And then sink back into child's pose. Take 3 slow breaths in your child's pose. Walking the hands back, lifting the chest upright, knees hip distance apart. Take a breath in, stand on the knees, reach your hands to the sky. Unsupported half splits, fold over that left leg. Breathing in to come back into your lunge, hands reach to the sky. We're twisting to the left, arms parallel to the floor. Left hand to low back, reach that right arm up over your head, breathe in. And then find your easy twist from here. Right hand to the floor, tuck those back toes under, sweep your left hand to the sky. A big inhale here. And then find your skater into that right leg as you exhale. Left hand to the floor, sweep your right hand to the sky, breathe in. Stay here, roll that right shoulder back as you exhale. Now land your right hand down. We're pivoting around to the top of the mat again. And finding our standing splits, right leg to the sky. One more big breath in. Feet together, top of the mat, fold in half. Rise to stand. You're pulling your left knee this time in towards your chest. Twist towards that left leg. Okay. And come back to center, reach hands to the sky, breathe in. Feet together, fold over your legs as you exhale, let that go. Halfway lift, breathe in, slide your hands to your shins, flat back. Plant your palms, step back into a high plank. This is the last one from knees or toes. Broaden across your chest as you inhale. Lower all the way down onto your belly. Reaching your toes back. Sink back to child's pose. Pause. Come back to your breath. So to walk your hands back towards your knees, lifting your chest upright. You're going to have a seat. I'm going to turn to face you guys. Have a seat and extend your legs long in front of you. Okay. And you're going to bend your right knee. Okay, landing the foot on the floor, but then cross it up and over so your right foot lands to the outside of your left leg. You have the option of also bending the left knee and then bringing the foot in towards your hip. But I want you to notice if your right sitting bone is kind of lifting up off the floor a lot. If that's the case, then you're keeping that left leg long. Good. So you're going to hug the right knee in towards your chest with the help of your left arm. Land your right fingertips on the floor behind you. And then reach or draw your right shoulder back in space, coming into a twist. So thinking length through the spine with every breath in, and then finding a bit of a deeper twist with every breath out. And come all the way back to center. We're going to connect the sole of the right foot into the left inner thigh from here. Okay. So flexing into your left toes, reach your hands up towards the sky, lengthen out through your spine. And with your breath out, start to hinge at your hips, reaching for your left foot. Okay, either catching hold of your foot if you want a more active version of this stretch, or you can also make this more passive by landing your hands on either side of your left foot and letting the spine round in and just curling over that left leg. Take a few breaths here. Slowly curl your way back up. Lengthen out your right leg to straight. Take a breath in, reach both of your hands to the sky, flexing into your toes. And hinging at your hips, lean forward. Let the spine round. Let this one be really passive. If you've got blocks handy, you can either use a block here or even a pillow underneath your face so that you have something to rest your forehead on. Long breaths. When you're ready, start to walk your hands back, lifting the chest upright. Bending into your left knee. You're bringing that foot up and over, so tucking the left foot to the outside of your right thigh. You have the option again of bending into that right leg so long as your sit bone can stay grounded. Otherwise, you're keeping the right leg extended long. Okay, use your right arm to cup your left knee. Bring it in towards your chest, still a little taller, and land your left fingertips on the floor behind you. So you're taking a big breath in to lengthen, and then a long breath out to find a deeper twist. Just staying here for a few more breaths. Unraveling back to center. Land the sole of your left foot to your right inner thigh. Okay. Rooting down through your sitting bones again. Take a big breath in, reach to the sky, lengthen up. Hinging at the hips, reach forward for your right toes, either catching hold of your foot or releasing hands to either side of your right ankle. And then letting the spine round in. Again, if you've got your blocks or any kind of props handy, you're more than welcome to use them here to help support this shape. This time we're going to set up for a wide-legged fold. So you may need to spin to face the long edges of your mat. You're going to widen your feet as wide as you can so that you still feel comfortable and that you're not tipping your pelvis too far forward. You still want your sitting bones to be rooting down against your mat. You're flexing into your toes. You also have the option of propping yourself up with your blocks underneath your knees if your hamstrings are really, really tight. Okay? So flexing into your toes, rooting down through your sitting bones. I want you to close your eyes, land your hands to the tops of your thighs. With the eyes closed, I want you to start envisioning a line of energy from your pelvis, the root of your pelvis, through the top of your head. I like to visualize a light when I do this exercise. But just thinking about that connection to the earth through the root of your pelvis, and then growing a little taller through the top of your head. So one straight line. And then it's barely perceptible, but I want you to start circling your rib cage. It's this tiny, tiny movement. You can probably barely see me doing it if you open your eyes. But it's really small. It's almost as though your belly button is expanding and contracting. And that's it. It's a tiny little movement. Now, keeping the eyes closed, start to make those circles a little bit bigger. So the intent here is that we're starting to kind of stir up any stagnant energy that may have formed in the last couple weeks with all this crazy stuff going on in the world. Continue to make those circles bigger. And bigger still. So then your whole upper body is stirring around. And with the eyes closed, you're still visualizing that line of energy from the root of your pelvis through the top of your head. Okay, now keeping these circles really big, go the other way. So just switch the direction of your circles. And making those circles smaller. And smaller still. Until, again, they're barely perceptible. So it's just a tiny little micro movement of your ribs, your belly button. So small. And then come into stillness right in the center, keeping the eyes closed. Notice what you notice. Notice the sensations, the energy kind of moving around in your body. Try to notice those spaces that feel a little lighter, a little less tense. And then keeping the eyes closed if you can, land your hands in front of you. Start to walk your hands forward, drawing your chest down towards the floor. And this is where the props are going to come in really handy. If you've got a pillow or some blocks, you can slide that underneath your chest so that you have something to rest on. You can even prop them up a little higher if you like. We're going to come all the way down. Forehead resting on something, ideally, if you've got the space to do it. And then let your energy settle. Let your body settle into this shape for 5 to 8 slow breaths. Drawing your awareness back to the places in your body that you identified where your emotions are manifesting. And I want you to breathe into those places. Staying in this shape, take a huge breath in through your nose, fill your lungs up with air. And then let that breath go through an open mouth. Start to walk your hands back, bringing the chest upright again. Okay, using your hands underneath your knees to bend into your knees, landing the soles of your feet on the floor. You may want to take a few windshield wipers of your knees from side to side. So you can land your hands behind your hips and just draw the knees over to the right, to the left a couple times to release any tension that may have formed there in your hips. And then before we move into Shavasana, we're going to come into either waterfall, or if you've got the space against the wall, I highly encourage you to make use of the wall for this shape. So it's going to look something like this. I'm going to set up against the wall here. You're bringing your bum up nice and close to the wall. Okay? And then lifting your legs all the way up. Okay? And even if you've got tight hamstrings here, you can be a little further away from the wall with the knees bent, and that's okay, so long as your legs are lifting up towards the sky. If you don't have a wall handy, you're always welcome to use a block underneath your hips as well. Okay, so setting up for waterfall against a wall if you can. Bring your hands back onto your body. Close down your eyes. You come back to your breath for a moment, just noticing how your breath is showing up or how it may be different than when you first got onto your mat. checking in with your emotional state again and maybe noticing those shifts without judgment, without forming any kind of expectations, just simply becoming aware of any changes in your emotional state. So maybe those really heavy emotions that we started out with are a little lighter. Maybe some of those emotions have been replaced. And taking a moment to check in here with your physical body, your physical state. Bring your awareness back to those places where your emotions were manifesting earlier and notice the shifts. Let's take 5 more of your slowest, deepest breaths so far today in this shape. You're more than welcome to stay here as long as you need. If you're ready to make your way into Shavasana, I invite you to bend your knees first, but stay against the wall, bending into your knees. And then just roll over onto one side, coming into a fetal shape, pausing for at least 3 breaths before you move, just to give your body a chance to settle and for you to notice what comes up after that shape. You may notice a little bit of tingling in your toes, your feet. When you're ready, lifting yourself up, you're going to set up for your final Shavasana. I'm going to stay seated so that I can guide you guys through a little bit of a meditation. I invite you to make use of props for your Shavasana. So if you've got 2 blocks, you can slide them underneath your knees to help ground your low back into the floor. If you've got a blanket, grab it now, cover yourself up so that your feet are warm. If you've got something to cover your eyes, grab it now. So setting up for your final Shavasana, whatever that looks like for you today. Okay. And once you've settled into a comfortable shape, closing down the eyes. There's nothing left to do but be here in your body, in your current experience. So just like we've been doing all practice, we're going to end with a little bit of a psychosomatic journey through the body. So coming back to your emotions, taking a moment to check in without judging, just maybe identifying the emotions that are currently manifesting in your experience. So for me right now, what's coming up is gratitude, gratitude for my body for being able to carry me through. Gratitude to all of you guys for joining me for practice, for continuing to form this connection, even though we can't be together in person. I want you to take the next few breaths to think about what emotions are currently manifesting in your experience. Now, turning your awareness to your physical body, thinking about where those new emotions are manifesting as a physical experience inside your body. So maybe that feels like a bit of warmth around your heart space. Maybe it's a sensation of lightness, like a tingling across your skin. Taking the next few breaths to notice, just simply become aware of how those emotions feel physically inside your body. For these last few moments of our time together, I invite you to set some of that aside to clear some space in your current experience so that you can simply just be here. Nothing left to do, nowhere else to be, just enjoying being in your body, supported by the earth beneath you, supported by this community of yogis, despite not being together in the same room. If you'd like to stay lying in Shavasana for the rest of this practice, you want to end here, you're more than welcome to stay exactly where you are. If you're ready to wake yourself up, start to invite a little bit of movement into your fingers and toes. Just circling out your wrists and your ankles a few times. You can draw your head from side to side, slowly waking up. And when you're ready, rolling onto one side into a fetal shape. Then pressing yourself up so you can have a seat, coming into Sukhasana. Drawing your hands together at your heart, thumbs towards your heart space, towards your sternum. Okay. Then close down your eyes, bow your forehead towards your fingertips. Take a moment in deep gratitude towards yourself for carving out the time for your practice. In deep gratitude to your body for the ability to move. In deep gratitude to this community that we're able to form through YouTube. Thank you so much for joining me for practice today. If you have any questions, you want to chat with me, get at me on Instagram. You know where to find me. Namaste.